Hey, what's up guys? It's Art Book Addiction here, and we're here with a new artist journey video. So, it's been officially 1 month, okay, since I've come to Japan, and this video isn't really gonna be like too focused on one subject or another like the usual artist journey. I'm just gonna talk about my experience and the things that I've done while I was in Japan for this past month. And yeah, so it's just gonna be more casual, more laid back, more just like talking about how things are, how I'm feeling, you know, what I'm working on, things like that, right? So yeah, before we start the video, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, check out my Prince and Patreon if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member, and join that Discord. And with that, okay, so first of all, show you what I've been working on. Here we go. Maybe you guys can see it okay. There you go. It's looking pretty good right now, looking pretty good on the camera. Yeah. It's flipped for me, so you guys will see it normal. But yeah, so that's the piece I've been working on. This is from Fushimi Inari, right? I was very lucky to get this very, very nice photo of these two women who are wearing a kimono, right? And yeah, it just looked fantastic, so I have to make a piece for it. I'm working on this right now. It's getting there. It's almost done. And yeah, so there you go. So on Monday, right, which is I guess like a day behind for you guys, I went to Mino, right? It's a Mino, what do you call it, national park, right? And right now the leaves are changing, right? The leaves are changing, so you know, it's not quite all red yet, right? But there's a lot of leaves that are starting to turn red, right? And there's a lot of greenery there, so it's like this kind of beautiful green and red like combination, right? Where you have like these beautiful transitions between the colors at the national park. There's this waterfall that they have over there that's like the main attraction for the place, and it looks, it was smaller than I thought it was gonna be, but it's still pretty lovely. It's still something like a wonderful sight to see. And this time I went alone. This time it was a solo journey, right? I thought to myself that I needed to embark on some more solo journeys, right? Because I've been hanging out with the people at the share house, and it's been fun. And like I love it, because like the people here, they're fantastic. I've made some really good friends so far. But I think like for me, I needed a solo journey. I needed a little bit of just Sean time. You know what I mean, right? I haven't been able to get out there and like do more plein air stuff because it's just been so fucking cold, right? It's been freezing, guys. It's been absolutely freezing, and it's been raining like crazy. Okay, so yesterday, or not yesterday, but on Monday, when I was at Mino, right, it was the one day of sunshine like for like the past like 2 weeks, right? It's been very rainy, it's been very cold, it's been very dry and very cloudy, right? Which is, I guess for them like a normal thing in during this season, right? And there's been kind of like a storm coming, so that probably explains why it's been so like gloomy, I would say, right? But that's okay, you know what I mean, right? I've been in gloomier places. I lived in San Francisco, which is gloomy as fuck, right? Cloudy all the time, so it's whatever, right? So I've been painting. I've been looking at things to help me become an English teacher, right? And working on my language very slowly. I'm so bad at like maintaining my pace with learning Japanese, but I'm learning. I'm learning to listen better, right? I'm starting to like have like better interactions, right? But it's still bad, dude. It's still horrible. Like I go to like language events, right? And I see people who are like, they're like, oh, I'm so bad at Japanese, and like they can have like a full-on conversation with a Japanese speaker, and I'm just like, dude, like you're amazing, dude. Like I realize that like some people, they really have a lot of talent for language, right? So there's there's another artist in the building, right? She's not like, you know, like professional or anything, right? But she's interested in art, and I've been encouraging her to do more work. And she's told me that, like, for a long time that she kind of lost motivation to do artwork, right? And then like before, when she was doing the artwork that she was showing me before, that she had a lot of motivation because she had a class, she had people who were like kind of instructing her, trying to get her to be better, right? But like kind of petered off for a while, right? But you know, I came here and I am Artman, right? And and I've been encouraging her to continue her work and to, you know, progress, right? And she's told me that she's regained some motivation to create more artwork, and she has been creating more artwork, which is really nice, right? And I'm glad that I could do that for somebody, right? And I hope I could do that for you guys, because I realized that, like, honestly, that's like my goal in life, right? To make sure that there is more good artwork in this world, right? That there's more art, more good art, right? Good being the preficit, right? So like, you know, whether I do it, or whether I help someone else do it, or whether I encourage someone to be inspired, or like just to like give them the motivation to draw more, right? I just want more art, dude. I just want more art in this world, right? Like I said, whether by me or by somebody else, doesn't matter, right? But I'd like to, you know, keep that wheel going, keep that thing going, keep the art alive, right? Because there's so many things that like threaten art, and it's so much bullshit with like AI and all that stuff, right? Dude, like, oh my god, dude, my school, my art school, like they introduced an AI art program, right? And I'm like, what are you fucking teaching, guys? What are you teaching to these younger generation of artists, dude? Like how to prompt correctly? Like that's fucking, it's horseshit, dude. Or maybe how to like photo bash. And I'm like, dude, like it's just so, it's depressing, man. You know, it's fucking depressing. And like, I don't know, man. Like why would you pay for that? You pay thousands of dollars to go to an art school to be better at AI? Like that's just ridiculous. Like you're not learning anything, okay? It's just, I don't know. Like, AI is a fad that will die. I know it will die. It's already dying. The AI itself is like consuming its own fucking AI bullshit, and it's like polluting its own algorithm, which it's not even a real AI. It's a large language model, right? And it's slowly dying, right? People are like, oh my god, AI is the future, and I'm like, listen, it's run by the NFT bros, okay, the crypto bros, okay. So you know that there's no faith, like even by them, that it's gonna last long, right? So yeah, it's just like, oh my god. And I saw a video of like there was a guy who was he was talking about how in Arcane is fantastic, by the way. You should really watch it if you haven't seen season 2. That like there were scenes where they needed to like extend the like the background a little bit more, right? And Netflix like extended it with AI without the permission of the artists from Arcane, right? And like part of their contract was that there was absolutely no AI in Arcane at all, right? And so like they had to like walk that back, which I'm like, you know, right on, fellow artists, you know, people of Arcane. Of course, the people in Arcane really care about artistry. They care about the craft, right? So yeah, I'm really happy about that. Yeah, so I've been having an adventure in Japan. I've been like going to places, doing things, meeting people, like having like, and you know, like not everything's perfect, guys. Like I went to like on the weekend, like the worst party I've ever been to, okay? Like, oh my god, it was so lame, it was so bad, okay? Right? Like, oh my god, dude. And I paid like 2,500 yen for it, which is like probably like $15 US, I don't know, right? It's something like that, right? Totally not worth the money, okay? It's, oh my god, I can't believe I went to this thing, right? I went because like my friend here, who is like my neighbor, but like, you know, like we're pretty close, right? He's like kind of like my guy in Japan. He was telling me about this event that he went to, where he met his fiance, right, who was Japanese, right, and like he was like, you should go, man, you should go, maybe you'll meet your fiance. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll go, why not, right? Fuck it, right? And dude, it was so fucking bad, dude. It was cringe, dude. Okay, it was cringe. I walked in like 5 minutes. Okay, I knew this is lame as shit. I should leave, right? Okay, but I had other people with me that were like, no, we paid 2,500. Let's just stay and like let's figure it out. You know what I mean, right? And so I stayed for 2 extremely painful hours. Okay, extremely painful hours, right? It was a small ass room. The party was supposed to have 100 people. Okay, you can't fit that many people into a tiny ass room like that. Okay, like the lounge in this building is bigger than the room that they had for us, right? I came in, dude. There's like, oh, there's snacks and there's drinks, right? Dude, the snack table, dude, it had like 2 boxes of Pocky in there. Okay, 2 boxes worth of Pocky inside. Okay, and you know what? I got my money's worth, dude. I was eating that shit, dude. And there was like some games. It was like nothing, and the vibe was just so fucking bad. Okay, right? It's okay. Like apparently it's advertised as like singles, right? Like this is where people who are single come to mingle, right? And it's like it's supposed to be like oh, this is where Japanese women meet foreign men, right? And it's like it was just a cringe fest. Okay, like a lot of the girls that came with their boyfriends. Okay, right? Listen, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not like the kind of guy who goes to these things like expecting like, oh, I'm gonna meet my wife, blah, blah, blah. Like no, like it's no, right? But I was just like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm new to the city. Like, let's just go. Let's see. Maybe I can meet some people, meet some friends, right? Maybe meet a woman who could be my fiance, like false advertising to the fucking brim, dude, right? And it was so fucking bad, okay? It was like 80% men, 20% women, right? Half of the women were taken, and I had a younger guy, right? He was French. He's a handsome guy, right? Perfect guy for this thing, right? And even he was like, dude, this is horrible, dude. This is like one of the worst things I've ever been to. And I'm like, dude, fucking agree, right? And like, I was going around talking, hey, hello, my lady, hello, my honey, hello, my young ragtime girl. I'm doing the dance, doing everything, right? Trying to like speak to, I talked to a lot. Like I met one, to be fair, I met one cool guy. He was like Ethiopian, right? He was telling me about his like doctorate and everything, and I was telling him about my journey. But we had like in order to do that, we had to walk outside. Okay, we had to be outside of the building, and that's where we could actually have a conversation, right? Because in there, it's too fucking loud. Everybody is like yelling at each other because it's such a small room and there's 100 people, and like even I had my Apple Watch on, and it was telling me like, hey, it's over 90 decibels right here. You should leave, right? And my entire body was telling me, get the fuck out of there, leave, right? So, I had that good interaction with that Ethiopian guy, and he was telling me like, I go to this thing, pretty regularly, and like, you just got to keep an open mind. Don't come in with expectations, right? And like, maybe, it'll surprise you. And I'm like, okay, maybe it'll surprise me. Okay, dude, it surprised me how bad it was, okay? It was so fucking cringe, dude. Okay, it was so fucking like as the French guy described it, it felt like we were in a zoo, and we were the zoo animals, and the women there were like kind of like going around picking and choosing, right? And like oh my god, dude. And he's like I was telling him like dude, like you're like a piece of meat, dude. We're just pieces of meat for them to choose. And like as he described it, it's like when you go to like Netflix, right? And you see so many options that you just don't even want to pick anything, right? It's exactly that, right? And so like all the women were like out of it, right? Like I try to talk to some of them, and I'm not even trying to like hit on them or anything. I'm not even trying to do that. I'm just trying to have a decent fucking conversation with somebody in this fucking place, right? And like after a while, like you talk to them, and I'm like, you know, doing the dance. I'm like, hey, you know, this is me. Look at my art, and they're amazed by my art, right? And then after like 5 minutes of conversing, they just like, all right, like they just start ignoring you, and then you just kind of like, all right, I'm moving on, right? And that goes for the same thing with the guys too. You talk to them, and they're like, hey, hey, what's you? Oh, this is me, and then blah 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 blah, and then all right, we're moving on, right? Talk to the next person, right? And it was just so. Oh my god, it was so fucking bad. 2 hours of this bullshit, dude. 2 fucking hours, right? Like the whole thing was like fucking, it was like the biggest fake thing ever, right? The whole thing was a farce. The whole thing was fake. Everyone was being fake. Like, and like, listen, dude, I'm a real one, okay? So like, I can't handle that shit. Like even like the French guy, he was telling me like, dude, like everyone here's acting. It's so lame. There's no authenticity. You can't have a decent conversation. Like I ain't gonna. Like, I'm like, dude, I ain't gonna meet my wife here. Like fuck that shit, dude. So after a while, we left, and then we started talking. Like we were just bitching about it. And so like honestly, that conversation was way better than the party. And like, oh my god, that was so fucking bad, right? Yeah. So I did that. That was another thing I did. Let's see. I went to an art gallery right over here called the Naka Art Gallery. Don't go. It was lame as shit. It was horrible. I've been trying to like open my mind and give modern art a chance, right? And all I gotta say is I was wrong, dude. Okay, and like more than ever, like modern art is just, whoa, look at this optical illusion. Whoa, isn't that crazy? And like that wasn't even like the main part of the art show, right? I went to see like there was like a whole bunch of like red strings kind of coming down, and it was kind of cool at first. But there was like 4 rooms, dude. There was like 4. It was like you could go through the whole thing in like 20 minutes, dude. Okay, and I've been to like things like the Met. I've been to like the Getty, right? I've been to like places where they actually have like great masterworks, right? And this was not it, guys. This was just modern art bullshit, scam horseshit, right? And I paid like 1,800 yen for that, so it's like what, like $12, right? It was not worth it, dude. It was not worth the $12. That shit should just been free, right? Like there was some cool things. Like I'll be trying to have some like video shit here so you guys can see it. There were some cool things, there were some nice things, right? But like by the most part it was totally not worth it, right? I thought like there was like 2 cool rooms, and I thought like, oh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be like just a bunch of rooms that would have like all these really cool installations, right? And it wasn't. It was just like 2 rooms that have a cool installation, and then you just see like just a bunch of horse shit with it, right? There's like a video of a woman who was like laying down in the nude, right? And she had like a bunch of like tubes going around her, and there's like blood pumping through, and she's like having a seizure, right? And it's just like this doesn't mean anything. It doesn't like art should elevate you. Art should like take you to another place. Art should really like give you a vision of the transcendent. Okay, it should make you feel like, whoa, like thank God my eyes exist to see this thing, right? For this moment, right? And that was not it. Okay, like honestly, it kind of depressed me for like the entire day, dude. It kind of ruined my day, dude, because I was like, man, like you know, like what I could do in that space, right? I could throw such a better show with like way less in that space, right? But who gets to have that space? Not me, okay? Not a skilled artist, dude, but this person who's like I'm gonna have a seizure on the floor and have these tubes everywhere, whoa, you know, and I'm gonna put these strings up, right? Like skill, like I hate that we live in the age of you don't need skill to do a thing. And it's like no, like, oh my god. So yeah, like I'm sorry if I'm making you guys feel like Japan is depressing. It's not. Like, what, there are parts of Japan that are depressing, but like you know, I've been having fun. It's cool to have adventures again. It's cool to like go to somewhere and like see if it's cool, see if it's whack, right? And like, you know, like, again, like, I'm sorry I've told you these bad stories, but like they were like, some of these things were so fucking whack, dude. And like that's like the first thing that came to my mind. You know, I've been going to parks. I've been going around like looking at, like, trying to find nature spots that I could you know, maybe possibly paint at, right? Again, Mino was like absolutely fantastic. Oh my god, I had the fish on a stick, okay? Like the anime fish on a stick, okay? It was pretty good, right? Except for the fact that they leave the organs inside, right? So like what that means is anything that touches the organ becomes extremely bitter, okay? Extremely bitter, right? And like that's no good, okay? That was like bleh, like but like the fish itself, like when I had the meat, like delicious, dude, right? They put like salt on the outside, so it's like a salted grilled fish. It was pretty fucking good. Yeah. I was able to find an art store around here that I could probably go to regularly, right? So if I need to resupply, I could always go out there, right? That's been pretty nice. Let's see. Whew, man, I've been doing a lot. Honestly, like, it's kind of like the opposite of my life back in home. Like, back in home, like, I could just do nothing all day, and then I just paint, and then go back to like doing whatever I want, you know, making you know, videos for you guys, doing whatever the fuck, right? And I know I've been kind of bad about doing videos recently, because I've been busy, I've been doing shit, and like I've been kind of lazy about making videos, right? But you know, I'm forcing myself, like, no, you gotta make a video, you gotta do it. You people are wondering like how are things in Japan, right? I finally was able to get myself settled here, right? I went to the like the Japanese IKEA over here, right, called Nitori, right? And I was able to get a good futon where my back doesn't hurt after sleeping, right? Dude, like sleeping on the floor, right? Like I love sleeping on the floor back at home, right? But we have carpet, right? But here it's like the tatamis, like they're not exactly comfortable, right? Though they look comfortable, they look fantastic. Like you know, you could sit and lay here for a while, right? But like overnight, like things are gonna be thrown out of alignment, right? I'm a side sleeper, right? So like my hip is always like boom, like hitting like the floor, right? So I was able to get this bed which has like this kind of like open little like area for your hip to like whoop, come right here, right? So that's been way better, right? Yeah. So a lot of people have been wondering, like, you know, is it worth it to go to Japan, right? I know I have one of my fans, he wants to move here, right? And all I gotta say is, like, you should test it out, right? You should, like, you know, like if you're capable of doing it, right? Move here for, you know, a couple months, right? You have your tourist visa, right? Visas are a huge thing over here. Like the visas, like how to stay longer, working visa, which visa you have. There's a million different visas, right? There's cultural visas and stuff like that, right? I'm not gonna explain it. There's probably a lot more better videos about it, but right, but you know, if you want to stay here long term, figure out the visa that you want to stay with. It's like, you know, I don't know, man. But come here, right? Live here for a couple months, and you'll find out real quick whether you want to stay or not, right? Because, you know, I know, like, you know, there's a lot of videos that are like, oh, the good side of Japan, oh, the dark side of Japan, oh, the right? And like, I don't really agree with all of them, right? But because there is those things, right? I'm somewhere in the middle, right? Because, like, you know, as you live somewhere, you start to notice the problems of living here, right? Like, one is, you know, speaking Japanese, right? Like, you know, maybe you guys will be better, right? But like, my Japanese is horrible. It's hard to communicate with the Japanese like directly, right? There are, and like another problem is like if you're a foreigner and you look foreign, right? People would be more adverse to speaking with you or like having like a communication with you, right? The people of Japan are very like closed off. You know what I mean? Right? But like that's kind of how it is in the world in general, right? There are people who are closed and there's people who are open, right? I've met a lot of Japanese people who are very open, right? And willing to speak and willing to learn, you know, English and like try to communicate with you, and that's awesome, right? But by and large, most people are not like that, right? They have they have like a sense of comfort in their world, right? And that world is very separated from the rest of the world. You get what I'm saying, right? This is less true of younger people, but totally true of older people, right? I guess that's just always the case, right? But Japan in particular is very like, they're like, we like what we have, right? Or we're like, anything that brings discomfort to what they know, they will avert. They will like avert from it, right? They are closed. You get what I'm saying, right? And it's not exactly a negative thing because like look at the society they built, right? Look at like the, you know, positives of Japan, right? It's super safe. It's really nice here. It's beautiful. It's well maintained, right? Like for the most part, right? And like the food, the standard, everything, like the products here, fantastic. Everything, like the items you can get here are absolutely fantastic. Everything is quality here, right? Which I, as an artist, really appreciate, right? It's a very artisan country, you know what I mean? So they really appreciate, like, the amount of creativity that I see. Like if I go to a bookstore, right? It's amazing, right? And the variety of things that are here is awesome, right? That being said, you know, there are negatives, right? You know, like I said, the people are kind of closed off, right? Here is something that I knew, but I wasn't exactly prepared for. There are so many people here. If you go to a Japanese city, there are so many people, dude. It's so fucking crowded all the time, right? Not everywhere, you know, like in my little area in Showacho, right? Not too bad, right? But like you go to Nanba, you go to like any major part of the city, you go to Tennoji, it's so fucking crowded. There's so many people, dude. Like a sea of people, right? And like, you know, I hear so many things of like Japan, like, oh my god, the population is in decline. People aren't having enough children. Like the country is like dying, and like, you know, you live in the city and you're like, hell fucking no, dude. This shit's so fucking crowded. There's so many fucking people, right? And like, I'm a person who I could get overstimulated, right? After a while, thank God I have like some noise canceling headphones, right? But like, if there's too much noise, right, or I'm surrounded by too many people, it gets to be a little overwhelming for me, right? And, you know, I've been going to events where, like, you know, you have to go somewhere where it's really crowded, and I definitely get overstimulated, right? So that's something that, like, you know, I have to manage, right? Like, there's at a certain point, I'm like, all right, I gotta leave, then I leave, right? Or if I'm like, I gotta take a breather, I gotta step outside, right? It's mostly in closed spaces that I have the issue, right? When it's like outdoors, not so much of an issue, right? But when it's like in an enclosed space, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise, and it's like really loud, like I gotta get the fuck out of there, right? Right. But anyway, to digress, right? Japan is awesome, really great, but it has its issues, right? Like, for one, staying here, it's like hard, okay? They love to kick out foreigners. Apparently, I don't know, right? I haven't had my own personal experience with it yet, right? But I heard, that's what I hear. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give my honest to goodness great effort to make it happen, right? And you know, this is a new adventure for me, right? So like I know at first I'm gonna stumble, I'm gonna trip, I'm gonna make mistakes, I'm gonna fail like miserably multiple times. But that's okay. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. You know, maybe like maybe like a year from now, I'm sure my problems will be completely different. And I will be, you know, in a completely different mindset. I don't know if I'm gonna be happier or sadder or like, you know, crunched to death, right? You know, by Japan, or if I'm like, you know, married with kids or some shit. I don't know, fuck, like who knows, right? I'm very open to whatever's gonna happen, right? I'm trying to stay here for at least 5 years, right? I think 5 years will be like, to me, like a decent chunk to really figure out whether I want to stay here or not, right? I'm not 100% sold, right? But I'm enjoying my time. I'm having an adventure. I'm facing difficulties, right? And there's a lot of difficulties, right? You know, having to fucking walk everywhere, hard, dude. Okay, right? And people were like, "Oh my god, dude, you like it's because you're unhealthy. It's because you." Blah, 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 blah. I get shit in the comments from like my last video, like, "Oh, because of this and that," right? And I'm like, fuck you guys, okay? How about you come over here and try walking over here 7 miles every day just to do normal shit, right? Then you could tell me, all right? You know what I mean? And then going up the stairs all the time, doing it like even people from Europe who walk everywhere, like I know that they're having a hard time, you know what I mean, right? I'm just the one who bitches about it, right? Because I'm like, fuck, dude, I have to walk everywhere. It's like, it's ridiculous how much I have to walk just to go to like the store, dude, and like it's a lot, guys, okay? Right? If you live here or if you stay here for an extended period of time, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, like I've been having a fun time. I've been having like good times, hard times, really good things, really whack things, right? But I'm having an adventure, okay? And that's what it's all about, right? Adventures can't be like, oh my god, like sunshine and rainbows all the time. Like it has to be like good parts, really great parts, down parts, like, you know, it's everything, right? So I hope you guys you know, follow me, right? And maybe have your own little adventure, right? Have your own little bit of fun, right? Have your own little bit of like bad shit, you know what I mean? I don't know if you could hear that. That was the ambulance, whatever. But yeah, so I'm sure someone's having a bad time right now. But like, yeah, I've been having quite the adventure, and I hope you guys stick around for it. I'll be dropping new videos as always. I have some art books to review. But yeah, I think we could end the video here. Yeah, end the video here, guys. Right. This is B, 1 month in Japan. Right. Let's see how it is after month 2. All right. Maybe my feelings will change. Maybe I'll be better or worse. Who knows? Right. We'll see. Right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you enjoyed that video, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Check out my Prince and Patreon if you want to support the channel. Consider becoming a channel member and join that Discord. Okay. All that bullshit. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot.